What is going on, guys? So since the release of our final DLC of Apocalypse, we haven't had much information on what the road ahead would be like since our final DLC has been released. All we've really had has been some information about the CTE and how the CTE has now been changed to be the beta version of Incursions. But besides that, for the base game of Battlefield, all we really have seen is a little bit of some updates in regards to some future weapon variants that have been tested out on the PC side of the CTE, but nothing really detailed from DICE until today. Now we have information on what the road ahead is going to be like coming up here for the next couple months. So DICE is introducing a new game mode called Shock Operations. So it's just like the fan favorite Operation mode that has been introduced to Battlefield 1, but this is only be focused on a single map, and it's said to be ideal if you don't have time for a full operations match. Now they have planned to put it on 5 maps that right now aren't currently available on operations, and these maps are Giant Shadow, Pre-Stage of Tour, Lupco Pass, Zeebrugge, and River Somme. So that is some pretty interesting stuff DICE has for us, especially bringing in a form of operations to maps like River Somme. Now there is a unique difference to this specific operations, as it is only 40 players. So there are a few things that are different, such as I had made mention that it's only going to be focused on one single map, and it has 40 players on it. So that was originally an option for operations where there were 64 player options and 40 player options. DICE of course took out the 40 players to kind of condense the community down and focus on everyone onto one operation mode, but they've seemed to introduce part of that back, but now just focusing on one map. And of course these maps being maps that don't have operations on them at all. So I know from my point of view, I've always thought of River Somme being a really good map for operations, and it seems like it's going to get a form of operations in that. So how that's going to evolve exactly, we have yet to be seen now, but we do know DICE will be introducing this for us coming up here in June. I have more good news for you guys. Starting today, the They Shall Not Pass map Rupture is now free for everyone on the battlefield to play. So no longer do you need Premium Pass to access this map, but now you can just have the base version of Battlefield 1 and you'll be able to play the map Rupture. DICE went on to say that they plan on releasing more of the They Shall Not Pass DLC maps coming up here in May. So we saw part of the release of these maps earlier when we saw Pre-State of Tour and Novel Nights get released that were kind of part of the They Shall Not Pass DLC that came out for us last summer. But now DICE is really making it official and releasing maps like Rupture that were part of those first 4 maps that came out in the They Shall Not Pass DLC. So definitely exciting stuff that's going on here. I think this will definitely help the population base for some of these maps. They will be more populated with players. Interesting stuff going on here, as well as we have seen weapons that were from the They Shall Not Pass DLC show up in Incursions, and we know that DICE wants to make Incursions free for all players who have the base game of Battlefield to play. So we saw weapons like the Ribioles being able to be used in Incursions. So how that's going to transfer back over to the base version of Battlefield 1 is kind of unknown yet, as DICE has just stated here that their focus on is releasing maps. So hopefully they move over to weapons as well, or if that is kind of entailed there in the fine print under maps, maybe, I don't really know, but we'll see what's coming up here. It is good to know that these maps are going to become free to play for everyone on the battlefield to access. So that's definitely some really good news that we got coming up here in the month of May. Now DICE did make a statement saying that they do plan to continue their monthly updates that they have promised to be giving us out way back since they've been doing this near the They Shall Not Pass DLC when that first launched, and they plan on continuing this until June of 2018. So looks like one of the final new content that we'll be seeing coming out will be that Shock Operations game mode that is planned to come out in June of 2018. But they said between that time, do expect to have fresh content to be coming out with various tweaks and fixes for things like bugs and issues that happen in the game. So it seems like there is coming a time where those monthly updates will stop. We have seen things pop up in the CT like those weapon variants, but DICE has, hasn't made mention of really anything else. But from this statement here, they did say that there will be fresh new content. So maybe, hopefully new melee pieces, maybe some new dog tags, new missions of some sorts to keep us occupied for these upcoming months ahead. But at least we know some more detailed information from DICE on what they had planned here. There was really nothing as official as this, but this gives us another roadmap for us to look forward to in these coming months. But that's a brief update on what's going on in Battlefield 1 for you guys. Again, I appreciate you guys being here. I am Livin', and I'll catch you guys again later. Peace.